Mein Name ist Uwe, ich bin 19 Jahre alt, ich wohne in Nordnorwegen. And of course we have the fjords and hanging dry fish everywhere.
Nature of Norway is not comparable.
Not really, no. Milk here is the best milk ever. On your plate you have a whole head from a lamb. Yeah, it's a really nice tradition. The amount of salary in Norway is around 3,000 euros. If you would go to a random Norwegian and talk to them, they would be saying like, what do you want from me? Norwegians go crazy when it comes to parties.
Is it true that Norway is the safest country?
If someone like steals a bike, it comes into the news and stuff, everybody goes crazy. Men yes about Uwe.
There will be for dessert, okay?
Sounds good. Приятного просмотра.
Need filmen? Hello everyone, this is an international platform to stars. Today is the sixth part of English podcast. My name is Sabina and I'm really happy to introduce you to our new guest. Ove is a chef person with variety of interests and hobbies who live in one of the gorgeous places of the world. Natively speaks German, Norwegian and English. His homeland is famous as the most expensive, the most beautiful country with unique places and rich culture. And of course, fjords. Hello, we greet you, Ove.
Thank you for having me.
Hvordan går det?
Det går bra med meg.
Okay, fint. Firstly, I want to say some words about how I love Norway. I learn Norwegian language and I'm interested in Scandinavian mythology and all of that. So Norway, it's part of me, it's part of my heart. So that's why I'm really happy to talk with you. For me, it's really pleasure. And
that's nice, yeah.
And now I want to know people like me who likes Norway or who never been there see photos in the internet and just like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, I want to be there one day. But these people do not know about how to live in this country. What is the taxes, what is the salary? So I want to ask you how you see Norway as a citizen. What's the other side of unbelievable Norway?
That's a good question. Well, it is expensive, that's true. Everything here is really expensive. But since I live here, I'm used to it. For me, it's like, it's different when I go to other countries. It's cheap. Everywhere else, it's cheap. That's the only way I notice it. But it depends. Since I'm a chef apprentice, I don't earn as much. But it's still an okay amount. Average amount of salary in Norway is around 3,000 euros. So it's okay. That's the average. But some have higher, some have lower. It depends on where you work. Living here, the nature still beautiful. But like in the cities, it's like super cramped and yeah, it's not as nice inside of the cities as people may expect. But it is still really nice here.
What you can say about maybe taxes, about maybe products in shops, maybe for people who do not know about this information because never been in Norway?
Well, we have most of the, for example, taxes is everybody says here taxes is expensive. Like it's we pay a lot of taxes.
Expensive.
Yeah, everything is expensive. The taxes and stuff. I don't pay that much taxes since I don't earn that much. but the average is around 35% of your income you pay as taxes. So it's still a lot. But still, they have like options for you to like go ahead and change things yourself. Like I can go into my account and change taxes if sometimes I don't want to pay too much. I can change it, but that depends, because in the end of the year they give you back if you pay too much, or they take from you if you have paid too little. Well, it depends. When it comes to groceries in store, it's difficult to say. More stuff is, I would say, most stuff is fresher, maybe. Like a lot of veggies and stuff. It seems fresher and better quality. Other stuff like milk here is the best milk ever. That's one thing, and we have like I would say it's normal compared to other, but we have more of some stuff, more fish, more fresher fish, and a lot of salmon and stuff like that.
You was in other countries of Europe. What are the differences between Norway and maybe Switzerland or Sweden?
Different is actually when you go, for example, the Norwegians, we for example, sometimes we go over to the border and buy stuff from Sweden because it's more cheaper and you can buy more for like a better price. So we usually go to Sweden to buy more cheaper stuff. It's very different going to other countries. It's either a different climate. For example, going to Germany, it's way hotter and warmer there. It's more so many people everywhere. You're not used to it here. People here in Norway are more introverted, so people keep them for themselves and are. So if you would go to a random Norwegian and talk to them, they would be super confused and like, what do you want from me? We don't do that around here. We're like super quiet and for ourselves. But still, most people are really kind. So, but yeah, going to other countries, like when you see, I mostly get scared when I go to like other places. It's like so weird, so many people everywhere, and it's so cramped, and people screaming, and drunk people here and there, and it's just so weird. But yeah, it's also nice to like go to vacation in different countries because yeah, it's cheaper.
Okay, also about other countries, they are cheaper than in Norway.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Okay, so Norway is country of dream. And through the years, more and more students want to study there. I'm not an exception. So, how looks educational system in Norway, and where you studied for be a chef?
The education is actually really easy and forward going. You get a lot of help if you need any, and it's really straightforward. There's barely any complications at all. It's really hard to like. Yeah, not to like become anything. So it starts like when you're like 6 years old, you start first grade, of course, and then you are going to the 10th grade. After 10th grade, you have something called videregående. That's kind of like a mix of high school and studying and university and stuff like that. After 10th grade, you can choose what you want to do. You want to go and fix cars, you want to become a chef, you want to do whatever. You can choose a school that has this education that you're looking for. I chose cooking school, and that's 2 years of the school. And after that, I go as an apprentice for another 2 years, which I'm doing now. I only have 1 more year, and then I'm finished, and I am a full-on educated chef.
Okay, it's really interesting. So after 10th classes, you can choose the next job, future profession.
Yeah.
When I prepared for the interview, you told me that you work in Lofoten in Norway, yeah?
Yes, I do.
And I searched. My first reaction for this place was, I cried. I swear, it's so beautiful, so fascinating places, just, oh my God. And I want to ask from you how it depends on your work. Maybe it's give you inspiration or you get used to these beautiful views.
Well, I think actually where I'm from, where I grew up, it's a bit different. I was more close to nature. Right now, I kind of live in the middle of this city. The funny thing is, the city I live in is considered the world's smallest city, like big city. Because it's in area, it's so small, but compared to what it has, it's like compared to like a big city. And the thing is, the nature around us is super beautiful, and of course we have the fjords and hanging dry fish everywhere. But inside the city, it's the architecture is, yeah, it could be better. Like the roads are rubbish and everything. The houses are a bit cramped and yeah, but still, like the coast. When you live in the coast, it's amazing. It's just so beautiful.
So what about you? How you choose your future direction? How you choose to be a sous chef, to work in this field? And what professions, what fields are popular in Norway?
Like, it's hard to say what is popular. Everybody does their thing. It's really mixed, like a lot. But a lot of people go and study or go to university and stuff. Try to go for higher education and stuff. But some people, a lot of other people go for like engineering and
Programmers, maybe.
yeah, something like that. Programmers, not as much, but a little bit. We even have, I believe, in southern Norway, you have some esports schools as well. You can do some esports or stuff like that. But it's a lot of variation here, so you can become whatever you want. When it comes to work, where I work here, it's easy to get a job, but it's hard to find a place to live. That's the thing. It's more work here than there's places to live. Since most of it is just workplaces, but a lot of people also, they don't live here. They work here, but they live like an hour away.
How you choose to be sous chef?
It was like in first grade. I have one of my brothers. He is actually a chef in a restaurant, in a hotel restaurant here in Harstad. A bit further north from here, like 2.5 hours away, 3 hours away. And I got kind of inspired by him. And my mother is also a really good cook. So I loved making food when I was little. Then I kind of lost interest after like 3rd or 5th grade. Then I kind of lost interest after that. I didn't know what I wanted to do. After 10th grade, I was like struggling to find out what I wanted to do. Then I wanted to go into filmmaking and stuff.
Filmmaking?
Yes, of course.
To be director?
Yeah. Like, I used to do a lot of that stuff, and it was a really big hobby of mine for a few years. But then I didn't, I was like on a waiting list for the school, because it was like full and stuff, and my grades weren't that good at that time. So I said I didn't really want to wait. So I said, okay, maybe I'll become a chef again. I can already a little bit from before, so why not? So I went to cooking school.
So you decide to be a chef since childhood, really?
Yeah, basically.
That's why is your family kind of culinary?
Yeah, my parents used to own a long time ago. They owned 2 restaurants. Now they only have like a camping, holiday area, Airbnb, accommodation, and a little cafe. So, but since then I've helped them a little bit in the restaurant and stuff, and yeah.
You worked in a family cafe? You helped to parents?
Yeah, I helped a little bit, yeah. Or at home cooking with my mother.
Okay, it's interesting. Why you didn't tell about your filmmaking hobby? Because it's really interesting. Can you tell something about this? Maybe you have works or some videos on YouTube channel.
I used to have a YouTube channel called Wildlife Brothers, because a lot of people were interested in like the place where we're living, like because of nature and how it is and stuff like that. So we made a YouTube channel where we just mostly I wanted to have it more about nature and the place around me, because I love nature. It's awesome, especially here in Norway. So we made a few camping videos and stuff like that, but not anymore. I just loved filmmaking in general. I don't know what it is about it. It just it sparked my interest a lot. I just was really invested into it, and it was really fun, like being able to make more movies or just filming in general. It just was really fun to like capture the moment. And also I loved editing them in so many different ways. I was sitting by my desk for 10 hours or 12 hours just sitting there making those videos or movies. I even did that in some school projects as well, which gave me really good grades as well, and it was just super fun.
Maybe in Norway there are filmmaking schools?
And that's the thing, that's there's only I think 2 schools in Norway, 2 or 3.
Really? 2 or 3 filmmaking schools? Oh my
Yes,
god.
and most of them are not so that you can. It's there. There's one thing when you go to a school, you can either make it called it's called something called yrkesfaglig, which is that you can have it as a profession after you're finished with it. A lot of the other school is like 50-50. Some of them you can have profession. With the others, you have to continue studying or do something else.
So it's like
Get a degree.
courses, and other schools like have a profession, to have a profession.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand all about filming, about your hobby. Let's talk about music taste, because I have a favorite band from Norway that calls Kaina, and I know Norwegian singer Tix. Maybe you know them, or you have a favorite band.
I know Tix. I do.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that most of the Norwegian music actually. But there's a really popular when it comes to Norwegian music taste. One really popular one is called russemusikk. It's because after you go to school or a special time at school, special time of the year, some become something called russ. Then you have your own clothes, and most of the time you just go partying. You are like celebrities. You build a party bus and stuff. You make these big festivals and stuff and challenges, and it's hard to explain what it is. I didn't become one myself because I wasn't really interested in it. It was like a lot of money and work to do. But that's a really popular thing, and because of that, people make music about it here in Norway, which is really popular for most people. Because in Norway, the Norwegians love to party. Love to
Really?
party.
But they are so kind of cold, but they want to party.
It's like it depends. They have like when it comes to being alone and being in public and being close to strangers, they're more introverted. But when it comes to parties, they have like hundreds of friends, or they go to pubs, and then nobody is introverted, everybody's extroverted, and it's just going. And Norwegians go crazy when it comes to parties. They go full on crazy. It's so, yeah,
I didn't know
unbelievable.
that. I just thought that Norwegians are unfriendly, kind of.
They are friendly, yes. But
Maybe.
that's like, they make like music about that stuff. We have a lot of other music types, a lot of classic music and stuff. But me myself, I don't really like Norwegian music mostly. Or I think find it okay, but that's like not my music taste. I don't know really what my music taste is. I just like a lot of different stuff, so I don't really have a specific taste of music.
Maybe classical or just electro, I don't know, hip hop. What listen Norwegian teenagers?
A lot of hip hop and rap and this russemusic, like Tix as well.
Yeah.
This music, a lot of electronic. Maybe a little bit of hardstyle here and there. But it's hard to say. But the Norwegian music taste is something of its own, kind of.
Okay, I understand. All teenagers around the world listen the same things. Pop music, rap, but I listened Norwegian rap, and this sounds really good. It's cool, really. Just okay. The next question will be about interesting fact that in Norway the lowest percentage of crime. Maybe that's why Norwegian writer June Esbø specializes on detectives. I don't know. Can you say for us, is it true that Norway is the safest country?
I have never in my life here in Norway like seen any crime or anything happen. It's like super rare. If it's happened, it's like a big thing. Like if someone like steals a bike, it comes into the news and stuff. Everybody goes crazy. It never happens. You never. You can go outside and you don't have to be scared about anything. Most people, they leave their houses unlocked or their cars unlocked. Nobody really locks their anything. They super safe here. No crimes. The police, they don't carry guns or anything. They don't. When they go and get a nice complaint, they just go in, say hello, and then they go back again. Just say be quiet, and they go again. The police are super chill and relaxed, and the only like crimes that are happening is that people here, the Norwegians, love speeding. They love driving fast. That's the most common. Cars crashing never happens here. Only like in the winter they go into the side of the road, but that isn't considered a crash. It's like normal. That happens. You just wait until somebody comes and picks you up.
So car accidents is a rare thing. Murders, it's never. Like.
Not really.
Because I saw in films, in serials, in every house, so big windows for all wall. It's like everything is seeing in the house. So that is why Norwegians feel safe, and nothing is.
Norwegians feel really safe and comfortable mostly. They just, there's nothing to worry about here.
Before interview, I asked from you, where have you been? And maybe you can tell for our viewers what are these countries and maybe nature comparable with Norway?
Yeah, well, I've only been to a few countries. I've been to Sweden, Denmark, of course, and Germany, Switzerland, and Poland. I believe that's the only countries I've been to. Like a few countries here in Europe. I would love to travel more, but I will have to wait until later in my life. But compared, like Sweden is like more inland. There's not that many fjords or coastlines or anything. I think Norway, compared to the other countries when it comes to nature, it's much nicer, much more beautiful. We have way more mountains. There's mountains everywhere. There's lakes everywhere, oceans everywhere, animals everywhere. In other countries, it's like flat and just you only see, the only thing you see is like road and trees, or buildings mostly. Here it's like really, it's really weird when you see a building that is like a skyscraper is something that you don't see here. It doesn't exist here, but the nature is so much more different here in Norway compared to other countries. It's just amazing.
So, nature of Norway is not comparable.
Not really, no. Maybe
Okay.
against Iceland, but yeah.
And in every country where you have been, there are various people, and we talked about something about Norwegian mentality, about Scandinavian mentality. Let's continue our talk about that because it's really interesting. So, Scandinavians maybe keep this Viking figure. They are brave, they're strong, kind of estranged. What can you say about this? How we can describe this topic?
I would not consider Norwegians to be like Vikings at all. I would say Norwegians, we are really, we're actually really quiet and easygoing, actually. We're not like, we are brave when it comes to it, but we're actually really regular and normal compared to other people. It's hard to say. I don't see a difference when it comes to people. Only thing is like more introverted and different, like when it comes to culture, for example, Norwegians have like their own traditions and stuff, and tradition is a really big thing here in Norway. So that's the only thing that they're really, really strong about their traditions, mostly.
Maybe you know something about Norwegian traditions, and can you say more about German traditions because you're German?
Well, I grew up with a really mixed tradition, so I have not noticed how the Norwegians have it. Since I grew more like in a mix of German and Norwegian, but mostly German. Yeah, there's not many different traditions, but for example, when it comes to the National Day, 17th of May, we have, for example, the women have special clothings, like super expensive special clothings. We have also, like for example, in Australia they have the Aboriginals. Here in Norway we have Sami people.
Saami.
Yeah, they live. Most people say they live in tents, and they go and have reindeers and everything to do with reindeers, and they just live outside in the middle of nowhere, which is partly true, but that's one thing. And they have really special culture, and the way they look and dress, it's when it comes to their tradition, it's really different and nice. But they only clothe like that in special occasions. But we don't have any other special cultures except that and food, maybe.
For food, we have other topic. This is my favorite. There will be for dessert, okay?
Sounds good. But it depends. Each and every family has actually their own tradition. It's a really big variation. In every family I've been to, everybody has it differently. When it comes to traditions or things they do or culture, it's very different. Even though everybody here in Norway lives in the same place and stuff like that, but tradition actually varies for each family. Norway is a really Christian country. So stores and everything is closed on Sundays. Everything is closed on Sundays. Sunday is considered a holiday, like a really strict red holiday. So there's nothing active on Sunday. Some things are, but not most things. In Hawaii, for example, some stuff in Germany, it was normal in the first school year. We would have these big bags with candy, and also go and then give the class some small bags with candy. It's this special kind of bag for every child that starts the school year, or when they start in school, their kindergarten. And I had that, and when I went to school, everybody was confused and was like, "What's going on?" Because that was my tradition, my family's tradition. But since in Norway they don't do that here. There's no special occasions when it comes to starting school or anything. Only that you like have everything you need. And for example, the 6th of December is
6th of December. It's my birthday.
Really? That's actually really nice. That's actually interesting. The 6th of December is like the 5th of December. You clean your shoes right before you go to sleep. Then you, after you cleaned your shoes, you put them outside your doorstep. And the next morning, the 6th of December, you say that Saint Nicholas was there, and the shoes are full with candy and oranges. And
Oh, it's such a good day.
yeah, it's a really nice tradition. And nobody here in Norway does that, so that was also a weird thing. But like some small extra stuff, or when it comes to food and Christmas, here in Norway it's more like stick meat, a lot of lamb, and potatoes and veggies. But in the German it's more like turkey and stuff like that. It's goose, turkey, which I mostly had, but I also had a mix. One Christmas day we had like turkey. The next we had like a Norwegian with all of the. It's called pinnekjøtt here, the stick meat. But yeah, there's some other cultures, but it really varies. I can't really remember that much of my traditions. Since it's been a while, since I've been home, but still, it was a bit different from me compared to Norwegians or even other Germans, because it was mixed since I live in Norway.
So now we know some information about traditions of Norwegians and German, and now I have a proposal to play the game. I will talk on Russian, then translate my words and phrases to English, and then you will translate this on Norwegian and German.
The same that you say, or?
Yeah, the same like I say. Okay, begin with the simple things like hello, like how are you, and other stuff.
Меня зовут Uwe. Yeah, like in Russian. I tried some Russian.
Yes, it's right. Меня зовут Uwe. Okay, привет. It is hello.
Hello, and it's the same actually. In Norwegian, it's hey or hallo. In German, it's hallo.
Hello. Как дела? How are you?
Hvordan går det? Or in German, wie geht's dir?
Погода прекрасная. The weather is beautiful.
Været er nydelig. Eller været er nydelig. In German, it's das Wetter ist schön.
How is in German?
You can say it in different ways, but what you said is das Wetter ist schön.
I can repeat this.
Schönes Wetter, so say. Nice weather.
Schönes Wetter? Okay. Я люблю тебя. I love you.
Norwegian is jeg elsker deg.
Elsker deg.
Jeg elsker deg. In German is ich liebe dich.
Ich liebe dich. Not ich liebe dich, yes?
Ich liebe dich.
Okay, how to say compliment? How to say that? Oh, you look gorgeous.
In Norwegian you can say du ser bra ut, or du ser pen ut. Which is my, like, you look pretty, you look nice. In German it's du siehst schön aus. You look nice, you look beautiful. Yeah.
And maybe you know other phrases like from a basic dialogue in slang, maybe phrases from slang.
Okay, I know what you mean. I can say, for example, when I meet my friends, I can say hva skjer in Norwegian. Hva skjer?
Hva skjer?
Yeah, it's like what's up, but it's a slang. Hva skjer? It's like what's up, ass up, or something like that. There's a lot of different slang here in Norway, and a lot of different dialects. So I have learned a lot of different ways, but for example, a way to say hello in a slang way is like hallais.
Hallais?
Hallais.
Okay.
It's a really slang way of saying hey or hello. It's like also like, yeah, hey, what's up? In Norwegian at least. In German I don't really have any slang at all, but mostly just in Norwegian because I talk to my friends and stuff.
So you know more Norwegian than German?
The first language I learned was German. But recently I know more Norwegian since I don't live with my parents anymore. So I mostly just speak English and Norwegian. When it comes to work or anything else. All my friends are Norwegian. So mostly I speak Norwegian. German I only speak when I'm with my family, with my parents mostly.
Maybe you have other phrases that you can share with us on Norwegian or in German?
For example, jeg må jobbe i morgen. It's like I'm talking with a dialect, so jeg må jobbe i morgen, which means I have to work tomorrow. Jeg gruer meg, which means it's kind of a way to say I'm nervous, but like, or I don't want to, or I don't like. In German, I can for example say, hallo, mein Name ist Uwe, ich bin 19 Jahre alt, ich wohne in Nordnorwegen und ich bin ein Kochlehrling. Which means, yeah, hello, my name is Uwe, I live in northern Norway and I'm a chef apprentice.
The last word was kuche, something like that. It was sous chef, yes? This word.
I said also a kochlehrling.
Kochlehrling.
So chef apprentice.
It sounds good. Okay, I see on the background a guitar. Maybe how we'll say on Norwegian, German, I can play on guitar.
In Norwegian it would be jeg kan spille gitar.
Guitar.
In German it would be ich kann Gitarre spielen.
Oh, German is hard than Norwegian, I think, because Norwegian is like. On Russian, it sounds like this. Я могу играть на гитаре. Guitar. It's like in Norwegian, guitar.
Yeah. But in German, you have to it depends on how you want to complete the sentence. You have to change the whole sentence in the way of how you want to inform it. That's the thing. You can say Gitarre spielen, which means playing guitar. Or if you want to say ich möchte Gitarre spielen, you can say ich spiele Gitarre, which means I'm playing the guitar.
Spielen Gitarre.
Like, yeah, ich spiele Gitarre.
Spiele.
Yeah. I'm trying, but I'm really bad at it. Yeah, it used to be my older brother's one. It was just in the attic for a long time, catching dust, and it's a nice decoration. And I was trying to learn, but I'm having a tough time learning.
Okay, but it's look nice, and maybe in future you will be a famous guitarist. Who knows?
I don't think so.
Sous-chef and guitarist. Why?
It doesn't really match.
Okay, so we were in really interesting linguistic trip. Now we're going to this real trip. I want to hear from you locations that's not touristic in Norway. That's maybe it's not so popular, but it's every person sure to see it.
That's hard to say because most of the nicer places are
Maybe top
really
top
touristic.
five locations that you
Like,
can
yeah.
recommend.
That could be maybe my parents' accommodation.
Okay, this is the
It's,
first.
It's called Astrid's Oase. It's a really beautiful place in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows really where it is when I say, for example, a place. It's called Ibestad, the place. And most Norwegians are confused to where is it, where is that? It's an island group near Harstad, which is a big city here in Norway. It's an island group close by, and the nature is so beautiful. And the islands, like it's two big islands that are kind of triangularly shaped. There's not many people that live there. They're really big, and people are more spread out. Where my parents have the space, it's such a beautiful place. You can like see a bigger island called Senja. You can see the midnight sun there. You can see the northern lights most of the time because it's not in the city. The air is super clear, and you can see so many stars in the sky. You can, where my parents live, you can look over to the other island. And that island is special in Norway because it's the island in Norway with the most islands, with the highest mountains. Because it's such a small island, but it has like 7 mountains over 1,000 meters high. Then the island where I'm from has the most fresh water, or most lakes. It's like over 200 different lakes, and like an incredible amount of fresh water. So much water everywhere. It's just so beautiful.
It's possible to drink it.
Yeah, of course. You can go outside on a hike and you can drink it, and it's the best water you ever taste.
Okay, I wish to be there one day.
Yeah, it's super beautiful. Other places I haven't been so much across country in Norway. I've mostly just been into the cities here. Or outside, driving between. Generally, driving outside the cities is just super nice. So I recommend if you go to Norway, take a road trip between city and city. It's super nice. You see everything. Maybe you will drive over a moose, whatever. Anything can happen, but just driving outside the city, there's beautiful nature everywhere. Just look outside the window and you see it.
One of my favorite game is Skyrim, maybe you know too. And there's places that you said it's like from this game. Yeah.
It looks similar, but I would say it's more mountains and more nature actually. But it looks very similar. Yes, it does.
Okay. So now we're gonna to my favorite topic of every interview about national kitchen, about dishes. Who as not you will tell for us how to cook national Norwegian dishes and German. Maybe you know some dishes and we'll say how to cook it.
The Norwegian traditional food is ribbe and pinnekjøtt, which is stick meat, and when it comes to ham, in Norway we have this on the pork. It's pork belly, I believe, and there's a special way we Norwegians cook it here with the broth, and it's just with super crispy. The thing is, the skin of the pig has to be super crispy and nice. We eat it in these thick slices, and how it's cooked for hours. It can be cooked for like 12 hours, and the skin is like so specially cooked. It like pops up. It's like bubbles everywhere, and it's fried so much that it's like super crispy and nice. That's like the best part about it. And a lot of brown sauce made from the stock from the meat itself. When it comes to what it's with, it's mostly just potatoes, some steamed potatoes, or sour cream, and it's really, I don't know, it varies from everywhere you go, but it's mostly just the meat. The meat here is very popular.
And fish.
And fish.
Fisk.
Fisk. Yes, of course. A lot of salmon and cod and halibut. That's also something that is eaten a lot. Like we eat salmon, or like just cooked salmon or fried salmon. It's like a regular food here. We also make, actually in Norway it's very traditional. It's like an unwritten tradition. Every Friday, it's like Taco Tuesday, but it's every Friday here in Norway. So on Fridays, everybody eats tacos, and sometimes people eat tacos with salmon instead of regular meat. You just like you just switch out the meat with salmon. You have the same spices and everything, but you use salmon, and it's so good. It's so much better than regular taco, I would say, like salmon tacos.
Salmon tacos.
So that's one thing.
But
dry
tacos-
fish as a snack.
Oh, sorry, but tacos is tradition from South America, no?
That's the thing here in Norway. They kind of made their own thing. It's kind of now become a Norwegian tradition to eat tacos every Friday. It's like it's super weird. That's the thing. It's like a lot of Norwegian tradition also comes from different countries that are like made their way home here. So people do that. And for example, when it comes to other stuff, like we say lørdagsgodt, which means Saturday's candy. Like it's like that you eat candies on Saturdays, and we have like in the stores you can like choose. You can fill a bag with different types of candies. And that we call lørdagsgodt, which is Saturdays, and we only eat it at Saturdays mostly. It's kind of that's one thing. I have actually a bag in my kitchen.
Oh,
with,
really?
And you just put anything you want, you can choose, and it's very like a thing that everybody has it in a way. And it's eaten like in every Saturday. Saturday you eat snacks and candy and stuff. It's mostly only on Saturdays. It's kind of, that's one thing. Other food, there's like, one thing is that is not really a big tradition anymore, is smala hove. It's a lamb's head. You get plated on the table. You get plated on your plate. You have a whole head from a lamb. And then you just eat everything around the head. You can eat the eyes. You can eat the cheeks.
Oh my
everything.
God.
I haven't tried it myself. I don't know anyone who has tried it. It's not as popular anymore, but it's something that people say is a Norwegian traditional food.
Okay.
So lamb's head.
Maybe you know something about Sweden dish surströmming. Surströmming, it's like a fish in jar.
Fish and like herring and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah. In Germany, it's a lot of fermented or pickled stuff. There's like and a lot of things in cans and stuff, or in boxes in those glass canisters. A lot of meat in Germany, a lot of sausages and meat everywhere, grilling all the time. When I was there, like grilling all the time. There's also a lot popular stuff in Germany. Also, is like Turkish street food, really popular in Germany. Döner, kebab, stuff like that. A German street food is currywurst, which is a German sausage chopped up with a special kind of curry ketchup on top, which you eat with fries. And it's like a common street food in Germany, which is so good. I really miss that. It's so delicious. But also compared to like Norway, in Germany, there's much more variation when it comes to sweet stuff. There's so much more candy in Germany and sweet stuff. A lot of fermented and a lot of pickled stuff, like sauerkraut or rotkraut and stuff like that. A lot of sausages.
And in German food, there is two sausages and beer.
Yeah, and pretzels and stuff like that. But actually, one thing is my first. I have like a double surname, and my first surname is Beer, like beer, and I don't like beer at all. I hate beer. I'm the only one in my family who hates beer. I don't like it.
The second part of your surname?
Sist. It's my father's one.
Sist. So, beer sist?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my surname. It's German though. Yeah.
So, we discuss all about Norway, about German, about other countries, about adventures, languages, traditions, about national kitchen. But I want to ask you what you cook on work. You only help to chef, or you?
Right now, or I also do my own stuff, but I've been doing a lot of different stuff this past year. I have been everywhere. I have been working in different times, different schedules. Right now, I work in the breakfast. Where I work is a hotel. It's biggest hotel branch in Norway, made from the richest Norwegian man. It's called Thon Hotels. And right now I work as breakfast, so I serve mostly breakfast of what I do right now mostly is the cold food. It's like veggies, cheese, meat, local cheeses, a lot of salmon, or like either normal smoked salmon or marinated salmon, hot smoked salmon.
So yummy.
We also have some special stuff like the local cheeses from a local cheese from close by, an hour away from here, which is super popular. And also we have smoked roe, cod roe, because it's like the caviar, but in a cod it's like this sack full of the eggs. And the one we have is like the whole sack is smoked. So we cut it open and then you can see the caviar, and it's smoked as well. It has a super strong smoky flavor. Very special. And yeah, a lot of caviar. We have like, here in Norway we have caviar in a tube, which we eat for breakfast, for example.
Red caviar.
Yeah, like, red caviar.
Not black.
Not really black one, mostly just red caviar. Here in Norway. for trouts and stuff like that. Salmon, trout, and cod. The cod one is more brown, red, brown, orange-ish. That's the most one. Yeah, the one in tube, I think it's a bit of a mix. It's mostly cod. We also have our own bakery, so we have fresh bread every day and stuff like that. We also have a lot of herring, pickled herring and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a regular hotel breakfast with a lot of special Norwegian stuff as well. And also when it comes to when I work at the evening shift, for example, they have a different kind. It's something called a sharing menu. It's a menu that like everybody on the table shares. You get a plate and then everybody takes and tastes and shares it. You have a 4-course. It's called which is a 4-course meal, which is called after the close by city here called Henningsvær, which is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Norway. Henningsvær. It's a really small city. And then we have the other one, which is Svolvær, which I live in, which is a bit bigger city, and therefore the menu is bigger. It's a 7-course menu, and then we have special, not really special stuff, but we have like local ham, or special meats for like the beginners, or we have carpaccio. We also have halibut.
Halibut?
Yeah. Which is also like a lot of the stuff here is fresh. When it comes to fish, it's only like we get the fresh fish like only a couple hours or maybe max a day old, and that's served like a couple hours later. A lot of local and fresh stuff here, but yeah. I mostly right now work in the breakfast section, which is like a normal hotel breakfast with some special stuff.
You like your work?
Yeah, I learn a lot, and there's so much different stuff there. I like how local and how much special stuff there is. I learn a lot, and I like it. I'm learning a lot here.
Good. So for the last minutes of our interview, of our conversation, maybe you have some interesting story for your experience as a sous chef, maybe as a traveler that connected with Norway, with German, maybe something kind of like, maybe with mentality of people.
My parents, for example, they loved road trips, so we took road trips across Sweden to Germany, with a special bus or something like that, just driving all the way to Germany, or a road trip, some places here in Norway. Like for me, a road trip was going to the city, just nearby city was for me adventurous, because I lived where I grew up. It was like more of a farm, because we had like horses and pigs and sheep and so many dogs and cats and everything. One adventurous thing might be going with there's a cruise line going through the whole coast of Norway. It's called Hurtigrute. It's this route with these special kind of small cruise ship that go to all the special places in the whole coast of Norway. Which is a really big tourist attraction, which I recommend as well. It's super nice. You can go to through the fjords, or go to all the special places in whole Norway and see the whole coast, and it's so beautiful. It goes all the way from the Oslo, or the southwest part of Norway, to all the way to the northwest part of Norway, to the edge of Russia.
Of Russia.
Yeah, to the coastline there. It's really special. That was adventurous when I was smaller. But a lot of stuff that I did was camping, like just going outside, going hiking, camping, going to
skiing
and stuff like that. Yeah, skiing, not so much, but the Norwegians love skiing. Yes.
Yeah, Norwegians
love skiing. everything, just being outside, a lot of hiking, go to the mountains, stuff like that. Norwegians are very active people.
Sports active.
Yeah.
And body active.
Yeah, well, work out a lot. I would say Norwegians are really healthy people. They have a really healthy lifestyle. Most people go and hike to the mountain, or just go on the mountain when they want, or go camping, or one thing that is very Norwegian type of thing is like nearly every Norwegian has like they have their own house, and then they have another one which is like a hut, like a smaller one. And when they're on their vacation, they go to that hut and live there. So they live, and depending on the season, they live on two different places. Their main house and then their hut. But their hut is like a regular house. It's basically a regular house, but they call it like a hut. That's just, that's one way of saying that Norwegians are rich. But nearly all Norwegians have like this hut where they go to. Not all of them are like in the middle of the nature, but most are. For example, I think some of the houses just across the street out here are like vacation huts for people. For a lot of Norwegians, they have most of the people have special like huts on special places just to go to a vacation. When the weather is nicer, or in the winter, or when it depends. But so much adventure stuff, I'm not sure what I've done that was so adventurous. I'm not sure.
Okay, we talk about all stuff, all about Norway, about traditions, about national kitchen. So now it's time to say goodbye. But I think I hope to be one day in Norway, to see these beautiful places, to have friendship with Norwegian people, because I really like Norway.
You should check it out. Norway is a really beautiful country. I recommend it. I recommend it a lot.
Good. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Ha det. It's
Ha det bra.
ha det bra.